All right, Shalom, Shalom. This is the brother Hamayan coming from the Richmond camp here in Virginia. Wanted to present another lesson. But first and foremost, I want to acknowledge my power and give all praise, honor, and glory to the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakadash. Next, double honors to the head apostles / elder bishops of Great Millstone who teach the 100% truth according to the Bible. Peace, blessings, and safety to the hopeful elect, to the Akim, who continue to push this truth throughout the four corners of the earth. Want to say Shalom. Also want to acknowledge the Richmond camp, my two elders, the Elder Karab, Elder Mattathiah, the Brother Ara, for continuing to push this truth here in the Richmond area. Want to say Shalom. Just wanted to bring out a lesson titled Trusting Esau, Edom can have severe consequences. And this is just going into the events that happened to the young brother here in Mississippi here a few days ago. So I just wanted to start here in the book of the Sirach, in Apocrypha, chapter 12, verse 10 through 12. And it says, never trust an enemy. His wickedness is as destructive as rust. Watch out and be on guard against him, even if he acts ever so humble. And for you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, most of us should know by now who our enemy is, the so-called white man. And we know his devices, and we know his destructive methods, and we know not to trust him. And by trusting him, you are giving your pretty much your allegiance to him. You're pretty much saying that everything is cool. I have belief in you. I feel comfortable around you, that nothing's going to happen. Meanwhile, he's plotting your downfall. Meanwhile, he is plotting your destruction right before your face without even saying anything. And so, that's why, we're not to trust this devil. Want to also look at the book of Ezekiel chapter 35 and verse 5. This is the book of Ezekiel chapter 35 and verse 5, and it says, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had end. This is that's in the KJV, Salakia. This is also going to be in the book of Ezekiel 35 and 5 in the NLT. It says, your eternal hatred for the people of Israel led you to butcher them when they were helpless, when I had already punished them for their sins. So the Heavenly Father has already punished us for various acts of rebellion, various acts of idol worshiping, but then the so-called white man Esau, Edom, continue to add to that punishment, and a great hatred, that he has in him to just show even more of his wrath, his perpetual hatred that has gone throughout generations. Want to also go into perpetual hatred which says perpetual hatred refers to ongoing, never-ending, or timeless state of an antagonizing Salakia describes a deep-seated multi-generational resentment. So again, it's just in this devil to have this type of strong hatred for us, to just wipe us out entirely. Anybody of melanated color, for you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Want to also look at the book of Psalms, chapter 55 and verse 21. It's the book of Psalms, chapter 55 and verse 21. It says, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords, which is in the KJV of Psalms 55 and verse 21. It's the book of Psalms, chapter 55 and 21 in the NLT. It says, his words are as smooth as butter, but his heart is war. His words are as soothing as lotion, but underneath are daggers. And this is how he deceives. This is how he traps you through being cunning with his words. Being real smooth. But the whole time he's developing a plot that will lead to your downfall. He's devising a device that will ultimately or potentially end your life. But he uses smooth methods to do so. Also want to look at the book of Genesis 27 and verse 41. It's the book of Genesis chapter 27 and verse 41 in the KJV, and it says, and Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob. This is the book of Genesis chapter 27 verse 41 in the NLT. It says, from that time on Esau hated Jacob because their father had given Jacob the blessing. And Esau began to scheme, I will soon be in mourning my father's death, then will I kill my brother Jacob. So because the blessing was given to Jacob, it deeply affected Esau and his relationship with Jacob. And so because he couldn't, basically get over what happened, he plotted to, come against his brother Jacob, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, once again, and Native Americans, who again fall under that melanated color, is under, this curse of Esau, Edom, and so his natural instinct is to kill. He's a natural hunter. He wants to kill and destroy, and so so he wants to seek vengeance on Jacob at any time or any possible time that he can. And so with that, I wanted to conclude the lesson and want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakadash. Shalom.